Welcome if you came through the Florida AIA Friday Facts. And if not, I'm glad you came through and you may listen to the Florida Friday Facts, and I'll leave a link down below. Without further ado, let's just get into the article. Between the trend lines, and this is the article about the architecture billing. In the following interview, Baker offers context to the numbers and explains why firm leaders would be wise to think about prosperity as an opportunity to reinvest in their employees at a time when everyone's expectations about the work environment are in flux. Billings are up and the signed contracts are right behind them. If firms are feeling flush, how can they reinvest in themselves for long-term stability? And the answer is that, as the answer that Baker gave, is that he was surprised that the ABI numbers started to go up as soon as they did in many months ago. But he is, of course, glad to say that they have a solid foundation for growth activity. This is not a blip. 5 straight months of strong numbers, design contracts, and inquiries continue to break records as well. 6 months ago, firm owners worried if they were going to make payroll or rent. They worried about the length of the downturn and if they'd survive. Now, they're worried about hiring qualified employees fast enough, retaining key talent, and the logistics of moving forward with active projects. So, to answer the question, he thinks that firm owners and leaders need to be thinking about their employees in terms of reinvestment. And the next question is, how should firm owners be thinking as employers? And the answer is that Baker gave is that a lot of project architects are going to be looking up and sticking their heads out of the bunker if they haven't already, and they're asking themselves why they're still there and where else might they like to go. So, if Baker is a firm owner, he might be thinking about the firm's value overall as a place of growth, the stories that he wants to tell about the firm's viability and attractiveness, and doubling down on the sense of a team that they want to create, or that he would like to create. There are only so many architects that can be produced from schools. So there's a labor shortage, sorry about that they have to think about as well. So firms that can find efficiencies through technology can help them satisfy their internal demand to get to work done and the external reality of fewer architects and designers that may be qualified to work for them. And so if he can pay his employees more because he's still going through a transition financially, then he would like to think about other things that can enhance staff camaraderie and loyalty. Over the last few months, a lot of firms have started to add what he'll call quality of life benefits to their stated values. More work from home, casual Fridays, office team building that's fun and also productive. And if I may jump in here, I think that the working from home option, it's a great way to retain quality talent. I think it's an option that should definitely stick around for various reasons. You may have life stuff to do and you don't want to take a full day of work, or you don't want to necessarily go in late, but you have a doctor's visit or somebody's coming over to your house for repair. Whatever the case may be, you just want a day off for whatever reason, or at least not necessarily a day off, but a day to work from home, then that becomes a very attractive option, particularly when we went through the really heavy aspects of it through the COVID last year. But in any case, let's get back to the article. The next question is, let me repeat that. The next question is, it seems that the notion of quality of life isn't just what architecture firms want to ensure as businesses for their employees, but it's something they're selling as architects to their clients. In other words, the notion of a quality of life in a quality environment is particularly important for architecture firms to get right. How does that trend with conversations you're having with firm leaders? It seems that the answer is that it seems that this idea of a higher quality environment, no matter the purpose, is something that everyone is interested in. Clients, employees, owners, and even indirect client groups like patients in a clinic, students in a school, workers of all sorts of in offices, restaurants, or flower shops. It's about the physical office space dimension, but it's also about the stated purpose to create a better environment. It's about the intent and about following through with that intent to create a greater sense of value for everyone. Mapped out, mapped onto that is the question among bosses. And the quote of that question is, do I need people to be in the office to do their work? As well as the question among workers, what do I want out of the work environment? So end the quote. Value is a carrot and stick equation at the end of the day. And the next question is, how does this boom part of the cycle compare to other cycles? Baker answers, he's been doing the ABI since 1995. Woo, what are we looking at there? 15 years? 25 years. 25 years. So we can track several recessions pretty well. From an architecture firm perspective, the dot-com and the Great Recession had a distinct pattern. Work softened quickly and work recovered slowly. So, for this generation of firm leaders, this pattern sunk in a psychologically and it has affected their behavior. Now, even though this current recession has recovered so much quicker than its predecessors. I'm concerned that a lot of firm leaders have said recently, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. And I'm concerned that they're too slow in their reacting. The ones who have reacted quicker are going to have a better year. And that is the end of the article. However, I would like to share some of the pretty pictures and kind of the data that has been provided through the ABI. And once again, I'll have a link there if you really want to get into this. And so, just some of the graphics that give the overall picture. Here's the ABI on the national one. Here's that graph. You have the billings and inquiries all going up, as well as the design contracts from July of 2020 through July of 2021. You see the dip and then the recovery and so forth. Regional speaking, it's generally the same kind of trend. Per sector, you have the commercial, industrial, institutional, and residential. On a per practice graph here, where you have the firm location as well the specialization, both for an average change in firm revenue for the first half of 2021 compared with the overall annual revenue from 2020, and the projected change in firm revenue for the second half of 2021 as compared to the first half. This is a very just sort of zoomed out version of it. Look at it. If you really want to get deep into it, once you follow this link, there is a PDF that you're able to download. Actually, that's just what that is. But anyways, you may read it at your leisure if you choose to do so.